Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa and welcome to episode 79 of Raise the Holte, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa. And today all the action takes place here in my fancy new office because it's a transfer special. Now we already have Messi in the bag for next season, so let's see what else this summer transfer window holds. So here we go, it is the day after, 9 o'clock, the day after the end of season awards. Everyone's a little bit hungover, and let's have a look and see what we can do this season, as I just said. Now, we'll start by having a quick look at the squad. Callum Chambers was the all-star ever present, and Rodrigo. They played a lot of games between them, didn't they? Gaz Mosley, Grealish, Almeida. You can see these are all the sort of the main stars. Where we always like to look is down the bottom here. These are the people that we're not using. George Cadell, I think it's time for him to come up for the number 2. I think it might be the year we look to get rid of Livakovic, to be honest. I should say to start with, these episodes can go a little bit long. I'll try and keep it a little bit quicker. But yeah, if it goes a bit long, I do apologise. We know the young guys here. These are the all guys will look to play a little bit more. I think Carlos Alina, he played quite well. He's a good, solid backup option. But I think we might look to sell him on. And the reason for that's right below. I think Lee Hendry's ready. There's not that much difference between the two of them, to be honest. It'll clear up a foreign player slot as well. There's some interest. I think it was Blackburn's interested. We get 10-15 million in the bank for him. That helps pay Messi's wages for a couple of weeks. And that might be something worth doing. Ben Godfrey's another one that I'm considering. I do like him. He always does a good job when he comes in and plays for us. But he's a 2.5-star player. I think David Bergkamp II is getting to the point where he's almost ready. And then, to be honest, Harry Thomason's never let us down. I know technically he's not as good as he perhaps could be, but he's an absolute beast. So I'm thinking maybe we could let Godfrey go. And I think the other two here were right here next to each other. Botheim, he scored big goals, but he doesn't play that much, to be honest. And with Messi coming in, we know that we have Brian Carlos, who of course we sent out on loan to get a bit of form back, and he's done just that. We have some options in the under-23s we'll get to as well. I think it might be a season to maybe 43 million he's worth. If we can get even half of that, I'll be ecstatic. Yeah, so we might look to get Botheim, and the other one's John McGinn. I don't want to sell him, but he's starting to complain about first-team football, and we're just not using him. He's 29. He's on 48 grand a week. I mean, that's almost a quarter of Messi. That's how much money he's on. So... yeah, it might be nearing the end of time for John McGinn. Is there anybody else there? I like everybody else. The other one is Livakovic. I just think we're ready for Gaz Mosley to step up. We've got Cadell in place to be the number 2. I think it's Chelsea that wants him. We might offer him around for, say, 30 million. See if we get any bites at that. And everybody else there I'm relatively happy with. The one area I think we can upgrade on is perhaps at centre-back. It would likely need to be an English defender. But I mean, Callum Chambers did really, really well. But he's a 3-star player. Holgate had an okay season. He wasn't fantastic this year, to be honest. But again, he's a 3-star player. We know Godfrey's 2.5-star. AR can play back there and be a really, really good centre back. So he's always an option. And of course, we know Rodrigo's, potentially a world-class, if not already a world-class defender, and he doesn't half score a goal either, does he? So I think if there's one place we can maybe look to upgrade, it's perhaps at centre-back, sort of a good first choice, ready-to-go-now player. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. The other players that potentially look to step up for this year, Blake Scully, of course, he was out on loan this year. He did well. He did score goals. You can see I think the lack of training facilities at Bradford just starting to take their toll. But he's in the Championship. He got 11 goals from 31 games. About 1 in 3. That's not bad considering I think Bradford struggled this year in the Championship. And he made a big step up from League 2 the year before as well. Can we go and have a look at the league table? I'm pretty sure, yeah, they were a relegated team. So, getting 1 in 3 for a relegated team, I think that's pretty good. So I think he's probably ready to step into the first team. And the other two, we do, of course, have our 2 wonder kids down here. Casey Beck, left back. He's maybe not quite ready yet, but at 16, I think we might call him into the first team squad, so he's there as an option. And then just sort of play him in the under-23s every week. And the other one, of course, down here is Gary Turpie, who, even though he is 15, is just about first team ready as well, isn't he? Again, I think we might call him. I'm wondering at 15 if it's a little young, but I think what we'll do is we'll call him into the first team squad, and then again we'll just play him in the under 23s. Just get him sort of in a mentoring group with some of the senior pros. The other one potentially is Chris Hughes here, though I'm not completely convinced by him as much. He's only a 1-star current ability, so we might look to hold him off just a little bit longer. But yeah, so we have options. That's what I'm looking to do. Don't forget, as I said, we have Messi coming as well. So let's see what we can do here. Hey, Kaylee, what's for lunch? Hello. Livakovic, hi mate. Yeah, no, I did offer you to other clubs, that's correct, yep. Yeah, mate, look, I know that you're a team leader, but I think for next season I'm going to look to play Gaz. Look, mate, I understand you're upset. You're not going to speak to me like that. This is happening. Okay, so we've had a bit of a disagreement with Livakovic. I've offered him around 50 million was what we had his asking price set at. Now, if Chelsea's interested in that, I thought we'd have a go. But nothing as of yet. We did get a nibble on Alina, so to speak. You can see that was 11.25. We've had a bid accepted we've accepted a bid from Blackburn of 17 million. So more that could be happening. I'd say it will be happening, to be honest. He's a good enough player to play at a lesser Premier League club, isn't he? I mean, he's a good enough player to play for our Premier League club, to be honest. We just have better players. So it looks as though he's going to be out, but that's not the reason that we came back. We came back for the commercial summary. I don't know why I enjoy this so much every year, but I just do. So, most notable new deal, we have a soft drink partnership deal. I'm going to say with Pepsi, because that's where I fall on that divide. It's controversial, I know, but I'm definitely a Pepsi boy. But 5-year deal worth 28 million. So there we go. 6 deals worth 24 million a year. I don't really understand how that is. Oh, so it's a 5-year deal with that over 5 years. Okay, I see. Sponsorship has gone up about 10 million, which is nice. Hospitality's gone up. Matchday income has gone up. Broadcast revenues have gone down from last year. That seems strange considering we won the league this year, but I don't really understand what that is. It's big club bias is what it is. Obviously, we're not that big of a club just quite yet. Competition prize money right up there. That's a big increase. And this is what I love. It's the player jersey sales. Rodrigo, despite not scoring after Christmas, is still the favourite. Livakovic, I'm going to get fans offside with this one, aren't I? But he's got to leave for the sake of Gaz Mosley. So he's up there. Rodrigo, defender Rodrigo. I tell you what, I would buy his shirt after his heroics on the final day of the season. Grealish and Marin are up there as well. They're just absolute heroes of the club at this point, aren't they? So we sold 2.5 million outside of England, which is roughly half. So that's not too bad. A little bit less than half. So that's not too bad. It will be interesting to see how Messi affects this one. That surely Messi's going to be up there next year. We sold just under 600,000 shirts, which is pretty good. So anyway, that's the commercial summary. We have our new scouting budget, annual setup or audit. I don't know why I was trying to say orgy then, but it's the youth setup audit, and youth setup orgy would be a very, very dodgy legal issue, wouldn't it? Anyway, guys, we'll be back when there's some transfers to report. Just to clear that up, the reason I was thinking that is because I'm listening to my dad read a porno in between takes here, so that's where it came from. But yeah, a little bit awkward for everybody there. Anyway, we do have some transfer updates here to catch you up on. Nothing confirmed yet on Livakovic, but we have accepted a bid from Stade Rennes in France, 22 million, a little bit towards his wages, but to be honest, just to get him out the club. Chelsea weren't coming in for him, so just to get him out the club, I'm willing to. It's a relatively small amount, so we'll try that. We have accepted offers for McGinn, so 18 million to Wolves or Watford. Hopefully he goes to Watford and doesn't sully his reputation. Alina, done deal. He is off to, where did he end up going to? Oh, to Watford for 15.75 million. Now, given that we signed Alina for, was it 2 million, I think, a couple of years ago? 1.1. 2.5 seasons ago. So we've made a nice little profit on that one. Bothheim rejected a contract offer from Everton, so we'll keep sort of offering him around, but that would have been just under 20 million, that deal. So that's where we're at right now. Once we know who we got rid of, then there's maybe 1 or 2 signings this season, but I don't think we're going to go silly. Alright, this is a big one. It's officially over to Gaz Mosley, the number 1 jersey. Dominik Livakovic has left the club. He's going to France. 22 million pounds we got for him. We're paying about 10 grand a week of his wages. He's been a fantastic player for us. We signed him for 2.5 million. I think it was our first year in the Premier League. He's been an absolute star between the posts. Player of the year, let's not forget. At least 2 or 3 of these years, I think. So we wish him well, but I mean, time moves on, doesn't it? And it's officially over now to Gaz Mosley, as I said. To be honest, he's a 3-star. We were perhaps moving past him anyway, but let's have another quick look at what we have in Gaz. A young academy product. Potentially he can go better. He's only going to get there if he plays. He's now going to be playing every week, essentially. He's officially the number 1. We'll change his squad number for next year. And of course, what that does mean as well is that our official number 2 and probably cup goalkeeper is George Cadell. And again, this guy's not that bad. He's quite good. He's a perfectionist, which is probably a good thing. Northern Irish international as well. So I don't think we necessarily needed Livakovic anymore. So he has left the club. It'll officially happen on the 1st of July, but let's wish him well. Thank you, Dominic Livakovic. Hello, John McGinn, please. Oh, hi, mate. It's Aussie Villain. How you doing? Oh, good to hear, mate. Good to hear. How's your summer going? Excellent stuff. Listen, I just wanted a quick word to you about your future next season. You did mention to me last year that you wanted more first-team football, and I just can't offer it to you anymore, mate. Oh, look. I understand completely. It's a short career. You got to do what's right for you. I'm not looking to stand in your way here at all. In fact, quite the opposite. What I want to talk to you about is that we've accepted bids from Wolves, Watford, Derby, Brighton, and West Brom. Yeah, look, mate, I know you don't want to make less money. Look, mate, I understand. You're super John McGinn. Yeah, mate, the song is very catchy and I'm going to miss it as well. But if you want to play at a lower level, you're just going to have to accept the reality you're going to make less money. So, John McGinn's attempt to reject a contract from every Premier League club continues. It's West Brom now. Honestly, you know what's going to happen is that he's not going to leave, and then he's going to complain after a month of next season that he wants first-team football. Or, you know, it'll be the day the transfer window closes or something. It's ridiculous. I'm not against keeping him. I just can't offer him first-team football, and that's what he wants. We're accepting bids for 18 million. We're not even getting his value. I've set the price basically at 18 million, and he's rejected every single one of them. So, yeah, I'm starting to get annoyed a little bit, to be honest. But that's not the big problem. The big problem here is this. Arsenal and Liverpool are both coming in for Rodrigo. Despite Arsenal's bid, my client's preferred destination would be Liverpool. He doesn't necessarily want to stay with us. It's a decent enough bid, to be honest. 77 million for a player that, let's face it, disappointed the second half of last season, I would say. But, I mean, we don't want to lose him, do we? We don't want to lose him. He's a quality operator. But yeah, we might have a bit of a battle in our hands. Where is it here? The wanted clubs. We can see it's Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that, to be honest. But we'll see how we go. Obviously, we're going to reject that. I just thought I'd bring you back to let you know that was going on. And also, Alina has officially left the club. 15.74 million to Watford. He's valued a little bit more than that. But like I say, to be honest, that's a nice little transfer profit, isn't it, for a player that played, 30 games for us? What's that? 10, 20, 30 games, yeah. So, there we go. You can add Crystal Palace to John McGinn's list of rejected Premier League clubs. We've got Messi, Leo Messi. I just don't think you understand. It's official, he has signed. He's only worth 6.5 million. He's 37 years old. We're paying him 210 grand a week. Have we been had there? Possibly we have. But look at these not the physical stats. Don't look at the physical stats. Ignore them. They're not there. It's the mental and the technical attributes. Wow, it's official. He is officially an Aston Villa player. It's in his history. They can't take it away from us now. It's right there. It's right there. He signed for us. He's a Villa player. It's July 1st, so a few things have officially gone through. The other official departures now is Dominic Livakovic has officially left the club. Another backup keeper as well, on Donny, who was never really gonna make it with us. It's a free. It's essentially end of transfer, and we already knew that Carlos Elena had left, but Messi is in. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. You can see there's a few. Oh, the other big news actually. It's not big news. That's a bit too much of a overstatement. But we do have a new director of football who's quite good. Look at that. So basically what I've done is I've sent him out. He's allowed to find and try and sign players, both young and senior, and then I just get the final say. So if I don't like it, I just veto it. But yeah, really, really good director of football that we have. Gerard Houllier was 76 and decided it was time to retire. So that was good because I wasn't sure what would happen if somebody died in the role. He was probably, 76, you're getting towards the end of your innings, aren't you? So long may Houllier live a long and prosperous life. But yeah, we do have a new director of football in. Okay, we have our first big signing, well, apart from Messi, our first money signing, and it is a big, big money signing, potentially rising to £99 million, £73 million up front. It is our new central defender, Jan Forster. This guy is an absolute monster, potentially a 5-star player. Physically, the only thing lacking is jumping reach, but he has heading of 19, so he makes up for that there. Positioning's good, decisions are good. Concentration is a little bit low, but he's only 21. I'm hoping that will improve a little bit. Anticipation is good. Passing is just amazing for a centre-back. He's a natural ball-playing defender. We have overpaid. I know we've overpaid. Potentially 99 million is a lot of money for any player, never mind a defender. But I think that's where we're lacking right now, is in the centre of defence. Forster and Rodrigo, to me, is a very, very good-looking central defensive partnership. So yeah, Jan Forster has come in. What it does mean, though, I think, is that Ben Godfrey we will look to sell him. He's not going to fit in the Premier League squad anymore. So Forster in, and possibly what did I just say? Godfrey out. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. 73 million, a lot of money for a defender, but I think you'll agree he's a quality defender. So here's one for Brian Carlos. Maybe get the screenshot ready. Brian Carlos could be as good as Lionel Messi. Okay, another signing to announce. Now, we have Messi for this year, but we need to try and find the new Messi, and we just may have found him here in Pedro Henrique. This guy popped up, scouts found him. It's not one for this year, quite literally, because we've loaned him back to Flamengo of Brazil. But look at this. He's got very, very good physicals, 19 years old. Off the ball, vision, work rate, flair could do a little bit better, but still not bad. Dribbling, finishing, first touch, passing, technique, everything is there. And as I said, I mean, you're not going to find another Messi, literally, but this guy could be just a ticket. He's already valued at 40 million. We got him for 14.25. As I said, we're loaning him back to Brazil for the next season because we don't have space in the squad for him this year. But should Messi move on, I'm expecting at 37, he may just be a one-season thing for us. But I think we've replaced him. Pedro Henrique, everybody, I think a star of the future there. And we have clubs to add to the McGinn rejected list. Bournemouth and Leicester City, 2 at once. Very impressive. Okay, we have a departure to announce. Ben Godfrey is leaving us. He's going to Red Bull Salzburg in Austria. 10.25 million. We're paying $3,000 of his wages, but that's not too bad. As I was saying, he did really, really well for us when he played, not just last year, pretty much whenever he came in, but he just wasn't a first-team regular. We paid 8.5 for him. We've made a profit. We've got some good years service at him. This is just league appearances, of course. He did play quite a few cup games as well in there. I think it's probably best for everybody, to be honest. He gets some football. He wasn't going to be in the squad with with Forster signing, so good job all around. Hopefully, we wish him well in Austria. It's been a pretty quiet transfer window so far. Not much is happening. I wonder who this is. Hello, speaking. Oh, hi Didier Deschamps. You still the Chelsea manager? Good, mate. Good. Yeah, looking forward to beating you this season. All right, mate. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So how can I help you, mate? Yeah, no, look, Mason Holgate is an important senior player in my squad. He's just not for sale. How much? 50 million. So like I was saying, Didier, Holgate could probably leave for the right price. Yeah, no, I'm going to say we do have a deal. Thanks, mate. So, I wasn't expecting this to happen. £50 million bid from Chelsea for Mason Holgate. Yes, you just heard, snapped Deschamps' hands off for that one. He's gone to Chelsea. He's on 99 grand a week as well. So, good on you, Mason Holgate. That's more than you're worth, mate. Definitely more than you're worth. So, what that does help do, though, is it helps balance the books a little bit here. Because I did overpay for Forster, but basically now we've paid 20 million. We've paid Holgate plus 20 million. To get Forster in, gets everything back looking a little bit more like it should. Still have 150 million to spend. I don't think we need to spend that, to be honest. But yeah, Holgate has left the club. Now, what that does mean is that we're going to have to rely on some of our youngsters in central defence for backup. To be honest, I mean, Harry Thomas is always there as an option, but I think the man that's basically going to come in is... this is basically the plan. If we're looking at Rodrigo and Forster as first-choice centre-backs, we have AR, who's very capable of being a backup, as well as Callum Chambers. So that's sort of 4 really, really good centre-backs. And then I'm looking at David Bergkamp II, and I'm thinking he can play the that fifth centre-back role. I have very little doubt about that. He's coming along nicely. He's 18 years old now. And then as a 6th option, as I said, we have Harry Thomas. Technically, I know not the best, but he's an absolute beast. He's a threat from a goal. He's got aggression, and I really like him, to be honest. I just really, really like him. It's just a raw talent, and I like that. So we've got 6 centre-backs. We've got 50 million for Holgate. Happy days. It is transfer deadline day, and it has been a busy transfer deadline day at Villa Park. John McGinn has left the club. It's a sad day, but he has left the club. 18 or 17.5 million. We are paying a chunk of his wages, but to be honest, we just needed to get him out the door because he wasn't going to play. He wasn't registered in the squad. I like John McGinn. I didn't want to hold him back. So he's gone to West Ham, which is good news. Botheim, 25 million. He's gone off to join Jumpy at Swansea. As I said, 25 million. He's on 110 grand a week. Good luck to him. Here's the thing with Botheim, is that I liked him. We signed him when we first moved into the Premier League for just under £1 million. You can see he just never really scored regular goals. He scored some important goals for us. And certainly last year, he definitely stepped up, didn't he, in some games where we really needed him to. But he just never did it regularly enough. Some of that's just down to playing time. But really, he got enough appearances, didn't he, that he should have been scoring more goals than he did. So he's gone off for £25 million. I think we've done really well to get that out of him. Some of that goes off to... A lot of that goes off, actually, to Rosenborg. But that's a bit annoying, actually. Anyway, the big news is that we have made a signing, and a really, really good signing. Look at this, a 5-star player we have brought into the club here. The fee is big at 65 million, potentially rising up to 80. But who is Ronan Leroy, I hear you ask? He is our new deep-lying playmaker. Look at this guy. The vision, the passing, the first touch, the physicals. Look at the physicals. He's a perfectionist. He's a world-class midfielder. Anticipation, decisions, determination. Everything is there. Work rate and teamwork's there as well. He's not too bad in a tackle. Yeah, I mean, just as I was thinking Tonali might be the first choice midfielder this year, and just like that, it's been taken away from him. Ronan Leroy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aston Villa. Okay, the transfer window has slammed shut, as they say, and the big one here, as if City needed this, Kylian Mbappe is now a Manchester City player. You can see he signed for 178 million. Now, I did toy with the idea of trying to bid for them, but we could have afforded the transfer fee, the wages, 425 grand a week. We couldn't afford that. So we just had to suck it up and admit that Mbappe is going to be against us week in, week out now. Marco Asensio, 103 million to Manchester United. And Gelson Fernandez went to Liverpool, a world-class midfielder as well. To be fair, I think they've overpaid for him. I like Leroy. I think we've done really, really well to get him in at such a cheap price. But that's the transfer roundup there. Let's have a look at our individual transfer window now that everything's done and dusted. And we'll start by looking at the outs. And you can't see, got the numbers behind my head, but we've almost broken even this season. Now, given that we splashed the cash on 2 big main players, to only have spent, was it 9 million? No, 11 million net. We've done really, really well. So the first out was Carlos Elena, always a backup. He's gone to Watford, 15.75 million. We'll come across him again in the Premier League, I'm sure. Livakovic is one of the big, maybe controversial ones, but we're trusting Gaz Mosley this year. 22 million, he's gone out to France, to Stade Rennes. Akos on this guy, he was never going to play. He's gone back to Hungary. That's fair enough. Pedro Enrique, this is actually an in, but we've loaned him out for this year because we have Messi, and I want to play Messi. So he's going to spend a year at the club we bought him from, Flamengo. But Pedro Enrique is a good signing there. Godfrey, 10.25 million off to Austria. In the end, actually, with Holgate leaving, we could have maybe kept him, but no such luck. And speaking of Holgate leaving, £50 million to Chelsea. That is ludicrous money for a 27-year-old, would you say maybe above average centre-back? They're paying him 100 grand a week too, which is absolute lunacy. John McGinn, oh, travel well, my friend. 17.5, he's off to West Ham. Again, we'll come across him in the Premier League. I'm sure about that. I'm sure he'll come back to haunt us as well. I do love John McGinn, but he just wasn't playing for us, and he was complaining about his game time. And then Eric Botheim, one of our Premier League originals. We signed him when we first got promoted. Never scored enough goals, as I just said a minute ago. So he's off 25 million to join Jumpy at Swansea. It's sort of all the Villa players go there to retire. The ins, the big one, is Lionel Messi. I know he's 37, and to be honest, he's looked every minute of that age in pre-season so far. I'm a little bit concerned. But just enjoy him. Enjoy him while he's here. We have Messi. Shirt sales alone, I'm sure that'll be worth the 210 grand a week we're paying him. Jan Forster, this was one of the big ones, 73 million, potentially rising to 99 million. Just a quality young German centre-back, though. Love everything about this guy. Looking forward to seeing him play well this year. As I said, Pedro Enrique, 14.25 million, an absolute steal. This guy is. He could end up being the new Messi. That's what we're hoping for anyway. But he'll be back for us next season. And then Ronan Leroy, the transfer deadline day signing. Again, look at this guy. Just an absolute monster. He's physically good. This is what I love about him. He's physically good. He's technically good. And he's mentally good as well. I got the last two back to front, but you know what I mean. Passing and vision, that is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to see what he can do in a Villa shirt. So let's have a look at the squad that we've put together for this season and see what we have. As usual, we'll start at striker because that's the fun part, isn't it? So Rodrigo can play as a striker, though I suspect he might play a little bit out on the left this season as well. Messi, Brian Carlos, the Lab, and Rabi are the main options there. We do have some others, but they're sort of the main guys, I think, aren't they? Now that Botheim has left. On the left, again, Rodrigo, Marin, Pedro, Green, and Cook as a youngster will probably not play too much. But certainly, I mean, Marin and Rodrigo are the two main guys out here, aren't they? With Pedro, one of our youngsters, who's been off at the Olympics. We haven't seen him all pre-season, which is a little bit annoying. And Green, they'll sort of provide the depth out there. On the right, we know Rashid is absolute quality, don't we? Messi, we know he can play out there as well. I don't think he has the pace to play out wide. He's very much someone that I'm expecting to play in the middle and just sort of let the game take place around him and he can play people in. But it's just going to take some time for him to settle in. We know Marin can play out there. Nick Roberts is quality out there as well. And someone else that we could look to use out there this year and probably will is Alpha Silla. Now, also that can play out here and will get a game, I can almost guarantee it, is, where is he here? Paul Walker. Capable of playing out wide right, and as I said, he will definitely get some game time out there as well. In the middle, in the number 10 role, Grealish can play in there. Again, I'm not afraid to use him in there. I just feel like he plays better a little bit deeper. But the main guy here is Almeida, isn't it? We know that's where he can play. Messi, we might play in here as well from time to time. Alpha Silla could do it as well. So that we have a number of really good options in there. Now in midfield, the more attacking side of midfield, again, we know this is where Grealish shines. This is where we've been playing Silla and we know he can do a job. I expect to see a little bit of Lee Hendry this year, a little bit more of Lee Hendry this year anyway. He is quite good as well. Gary Turpie, we've put him in, we're playing him in some of the friendlies. He's done well. I'm going to leave him in the senior squad. Again, he's only 16. He'll play a lot of games in the under 23s, but I'm going to leave him up here. He's done well. And David Morris, another one that I called up. We'll put him probably back to the under 23s, but he's done okay, and I think he can do a job up here for us as well. Now on the more defensive or the deep line playmaker side of things, Leroy we've seen as an absolute just a beast. AR can play here, and we'll also look to use him in defence. Tonali, another really good defensive option, and also Bahi or Baal or however you pronounce that, our young Tunisian. We'll look to give him a little bit more game time. The good thing about McGinn leaving is that it just frees up another spot in this midfield area. The centre backs, we have 6 basically. We have Rodrigo, who was our, of course, club player of the year last year, is an absolute just. Him and Forster. I'm really, really excited to see what sort of partnership they can strike up. The second choice, AR, he's just a good ball-playing centre-back. He can play anyway. He's a really good player for us. And Callum Chambers as well. They'll sort of be more backup this year. And then David Bergkamp has done well in pre-season, along with Harry Thomas to sort of provide the backup and play in the cup games. Out left, we have 2 just brilliant options. Nepo, amazing. And Dali as well. Now you will notice there's been some new contracts signed as well. Nepo was on 125 grand a week. Now he signed a new contract. AR signed a new contract as well, 105 grand a week for him. If I think of the others, I will let you know. Kostic, if we look at the right side of defense, Kostic will play out there along with Bree. Bree wants a new contract. I'm going to have to give it to him, I think, because he's going to get unhappy and kick off otherwise. But yeah, I don't really want to pay him too much more than 46 grand. He's very much a backup. And Callum Chambers he will sort of take over Mason Holgate's role as the backup, or sort of third choice right back. And then in goals, we have our man now, the man we've backed because we've sold Livakovic, Gaz Mosley. You can see he's got the number 1 now next to his name. He needs to step up. And the backup to him is, of course, Cadell. George Cadell, more than capable of being the number 2. I think he'll do a good job when called upon. We don't really have a third choice option at the club right now. Some 16-year-olds that are not that great, to be honest. So if we were to get an injury to one of these two, we might have to look to use the emergency loan market, I think. But there we go. That is your 2024-25 Aston Villa squad. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think we spent our money well. We've overpaid for Forster, I know, but I think he'll prove worth it in the long run. I don't want this episode to go on too long, guys, so we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Monday. We'll get the season underway. Our first game in the Premier League is against Arsenal. Of course, they were second in the league last year, I think, weren't they? Or did they end up getting pipped by Liverpool? I can't remember. I think they were second, and of course, they knocked us out in the Champions League, so an early chance for revenge against them. So I said, like if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to ring the bell so you see when I upload new episodes, and I'll see you on Monday to start a brand new season. Take care.